Hi, Fields friends. We are getting ready to hear another awesome story. So find a comfortable spot, get all nice and cozy. I'm going to read you the book today called Chrysanthemum. That is a huge word. Can you say that with me? Chrysanthemum. This story is about a little girl named Chrysanthemum, and she does not like her name because it's so long and it's so hard to say. And sometimes the friends at school even make fun of her for her long, hard to say name. How do you think that makes her feel? Show me. That makes her feel sad. So we're going to learn today how to be proud of our name, and then we're going to do a little activity with our name. So first, sit back and enjoy the story. The day she was born was the happiest day in her parents' lives. "She's perfect," said her mother. "Absolutely," said her father. And she was. She was absolutely perfect. "Her name must be everything she is," said her mother. "Her name must be absolutely perfect," said her father. And it was. Chrysanthemum. Her parents named her Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum grew and grew and grew, and when she was old enough to appreciate it, Chrysanthemum loved her name. Touch your nose if you love your name. Touch your ear if you don't love your name. Nice job. She loved the way it sounded when her mother woke her up. She loved the way it sounded when her father called her for dinner. And she loved the way it sounded when she whispered to herself in the bathroom mirror, "Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum." Chrysanthemum loved the way her name looked when it was written with ink on an envelope. She loved the way it looked when it was written with icing on her birthday cake. And she loved the way it looked when she wrote it herself with her fat orange crayon. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum thought her name was absolutely perfect. And then she started school. On the first day, Chrysanthemum wore her sunniest dress and her brightest smile. She ran all the way to school. "Hooray!" said Chrysanthemum. "School!" But when Mrs. Chudd took roll call, everyone giggled upon hearing Chrysanthemum's name. "It's so long," said Joe. "It scarcely fits on your name tag," said Rita, pointing. "I'm named after my grandmother," said Victoria. "You're named after a flower." Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. Wilted means she got really, really sad. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and informed Mrs. Chudd that Chrysanthemum's name was spelled with 13 letters. "That's exactly half as many letters as there are in the entire alphabet," Victoria explained. "Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria," said Mrs. Chudd. "Now put your head down." "If I had a name like yours, I'd change it," Victoria said as the students lined up to go home. "I wish I could," thought Chrysanthemum. "Welcome home," said her mother. "Welcome home," said her father. "School is no place for me," said Chrysanthemum. "My name is too long. It scarcely fits on my name tag, and I'm named after a flower." "Oh, pish," said her mother. "Your name is beautiful and precious and priceless and fascinating and winsome," said her father. "It's everything you are," said her mother. "Absolutely perfect," said her father. Chrysanthemum felt much better after her favorite dinner, macaroni and cheese with ketchup, and an evening filled with hugs and kisses. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that her name was Jane. It was an extremely pleasant dream. Can you pretend you're her dreaming? The next morning, Chrysanthemum wore her most comfortable jumper. She walked to school as slowly as she could. She dragged her feet in the dirt. "Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum," she wrote. She even looks like a flower, said Victoria as Chrysanthemum entered the playground. Let's pick her, said Rita, pointing. Let's smell her, said Joe. Chrysanthemum wilted. That means she got sad. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and said, A chrysanthemum is a flower. It lives in a garden with worms and other dirty things. Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria, said Mrs. Chudd. Now put your head down. I just cannot believe your name, Victoria said as the students lined up to go home. Neither can I, thought Chrysanthemum. They are not being nice, making fun of her name. Welcome home, said her mother. Welcome home, said her father. School is no place for me, said Chrysanthemum. They said I even look like a flower. They pretended to pick me and smell me. Oh, pish, said her mother. They're just jealous. And envious and discontented, said her father. Who wouldn't be jealous of a name like yours, said her mother. After all, it's absolutely perfect. Chrysanthemum felt a little better after her favorite dessert, chocolate cake with buttercream frosting, and another evening filled with hugs and kisses. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that she really was a chrysanthemum. She sprouted leaves and petals. Victoria picked her and plucked the leaves and petals one by one until there was nothing left but a scrawny stem. It was the worst nightmare of Chrysanthemum's life. Chrysanthemum wore her outfit with 7 pockets the next morning. She loaded the pockets with her most prized possessions and her good luck charms. Chrysanthemum took the longest possible route to school. She stopped and stared at every flower. Chrysanthemum, 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 the flower seemed to say. That morning, the students were introduced to Mrs. Twinkle, the music teacher. Her voice was like something out of a dream, as was everything else about her. The students were speechless. They thought Mrs. Twinkle was an indescribable wonder. Excuse me. They went out of their way to make a nice impression. Excuse me. Mrs. Twinkle led the students in scales. Then she assigned roles for the class musical. Victoria was chosen as the dainty fairy queen. Rita was chosen as the spiffy butterfly princess, and Joe was chosen as the all-important pixie messenger, and Chrysanthemum was chosen as a daisy. That's a flower. Chrysanthemum's a daisy, chrysanthemum's a daisy, Joe, Rita, and Victoria chanted, thinking it was very funny. Chrysanthemum wilted. Can you wilt with me? She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought her name was absolutely dreadful. What's so funny? Asked Mrs. Twinkle. Chrysanthemum, was the answer. Her name is so long, said Joe. It scarcely fits on her name tag, said Rita, pointing. I'm named after my grandmother, said Victoria, and she's named after a flower. My name is long, said Mrs. Twinkle. It is, said Joe. My name would scarcely fit on a name tag, said Mrs. Twinkle. It would, said Rita, pointing. And, said Miss Twinkle, I'm named after a flower, too. You are? said Victoria. Yes, said Mrs. Twinkle. My name is Delphinium. Can you say that with me? Delphinium. Delphinium Twinkle. And if my baby is a girl, I'm considering Chrysanthemum as a name. I think it is absolutely perfect. Chrysanthemum couldn't believe her ears. She blushed, she beamed, she bloomed. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Joe, Rita, and Victoria looked at Chrysanthemum. Call me Marigold, said Joe. I'm Carnation, said Rita, pointing. My name is Lily of the Valley, said Victoria. Those are all different flowers. Chrysanthemum did not think her name was perfect. She knew it. The end. All right, boys and girls, we are going to do an activity to celebrate your name. So I'm going to switch my camera around so you can see my materials, and then you can watch me get started. Okay, Fields friends, we're ready to get started. The first thing that you are going to need for this activity is your sentence strip. This was in your take-home bag. It's a big, big, long strip. Next, you're going to need a glue stick, and you're going to need your letter from your name. I will show you what we're going to do, and then you can log off and do this all on your own. So the first thing you're going to do is decorate your letters. See how I colored mine? You can color them, you can decorate them, you can do whatever you'd like with them. You can also color this sentence strip. If you want to color this big white strip, you can do that too. So you're going to take the first letter in your name. In Miss Fields, N is the first letter. You're going to flip it upside down, and you're going to put one strip of glue. See how I just did a quick strip? And then you're going to glue it on your sentence strip. Then you will glue the next letter. So just a little bit, a dot is a lot. And you're going to put it on your sentence strip. Then the next letter in your name. A dot is a lot. And then the next letter in your name. You're going to keep going for all the letters in your name. If your name is long, like Chrysanthemum, this might take you just a second. That's okay. Take as long as you need. If your name is short, like the name Kate or the name Rita in the book, yours might not take as long. But all of our names are so special that we are going to be so proud to wear this name hat. So you are going to finish gluing all your letters onto your strip. Perfect. So my name is all the way across, Miss Fields. When you're finished, you're going to flip it upside down, and you are going to glue the two ends together. This will need a little more glue to make it stay. You're going to glue it together, and then you have a big name hat. Now remember, if you want to color this white strip, you can color it, you can decorate it however you want. When you are finished, please post a picture of yourself on Seesaw wearing your name hat. I will show you my picture next. Good luck, Fields friends.